everyone, my name is Lynn, and today I'm actually going to be doing some painting for you. If you want to treat this like a podcast, you can. I kind of intend on speaking for about 30 minutes. You can just set your phone face down and listen to me if you want. You could even paint along. It's going to be a really easy thing that we're doing today. We're actually just going to be using some canvas today. This is just a standard size canvas. I don't actually know what size it is. I should probably figure that out as I'm sitting here teaching you how to do it. Yeah, they are Studio 71 16 by 12 inch canvases. And all we're going to be doing today is painting some trees on them. They are gallery wrapped canvases, which means that they are wrapped all the way around the edge. As you can see, you could hang this in a gallery right now. It doesn't need a frame, and it's stapled on the back. Another style would be for framing, where they just staple on the side. It saves about an inch of canvas on every side, and it's pretty economy efficient, if that's what they're going for. So these ones are actually already pre-gessoed, which means that they have a layer of paint on them already, most likely an acrylic paint. Yeah, it says acrylic primed for medium weight paint, which is what we are going to be doing today. We are using some basic black acrylic paint. See, it is by the brand Liquitex, and it's a pretty good standard. You can buy this at any craft store. This was bought at Packetams, as were the canvases, and they came in a value pack that was only $10 for 6 canvases. Maybe you can find a great deal like that near you. These canvases were bought for me because they're for a 4-H project. They're going to be for the Clover Buds in my club, and if you don't know what the 4-H club style works is, basically there are the Clover Buds, and then there are the regular members, and the Clover Buds are just the people that are under the age of 9 years old but still want to be involved in 4-H. After you're 9 until you're 18, you can participate in the regular 4-H, where you have all kinds of projects. But for Clover Buds, what our group usually does is just one single group project for the entire group. And it seems to work out pretty good for us. So this year, what they're doing is they're going to be using buttons to make trees. They're going to be using all of those different colors of buttons that I just showed you, and I am actually making the trees that they're going to be pasted onto. This is one of the trees that I just made earlier, and I'm going to be doing maybe 5 more canvases today, right now with you. And my materials that I have, as I've already been painting, they're kind of dirty already, but I have this 1-inch brush. It's actually used for sidewalk painting with sidewalk chalk, and it's just made in Indonesia. There's no specific brand for this one. And the other brush that I'm using, I'm only using 2 brushes today, is the Picasso brand 1.5-inch angled brush. As you can see, it's got a nice beveled edge to it, and that is really good for when you're painting these tapered lines like I'm doing today, as you saw on the tree branches. I'm just going to pour out some paint. All I've got for a palette today is just a little piece of plastic that I tore out from some of the packaging. Why not? Reuse, reduce, and recycle. I love recycling. And we're just going to get started on this one. It's really easy, and I'll just show you with this first canvas. All you got to do is take your canvas and draw a line wherever you like. There we go. Here's my first line. Now I'm going to take and do some root system. All I gotta do is, as you can see, I'm like feathering out the bottom. Make sure that you have a good support system for your tree. As you can see, there's mine. It's all off in one corner, and I have tried to bring it some more towards the center because we are going to have a tree that arches over this way. I'm going to draw the first branch right now, and there it is. As you can see, this doesn't look like a very good tree. There's something very specifically wrong with it. The middle right here is too skinny. This is a specific trick that I'm going to show you right now today. It's that instead of starting like I did in the middle with this branch, what you really should do is start from the bottom and bring up that branch from the bottom, because now the tree looks a little bit more normal. It's okay if it has little wiggles in it on the sides. And as we draw another branch, I'll show you the right way to do it. You start from the bottom here and just draw a branch like that. See how this tree looks like it actually could support this weight now. And when we draw one up here, it's the same deal. You just start from the bottom, go all the way up with this branch. I'm going to keep drawing a few more branches, and I'll check back with you in just a minute. I wanted to make this YouTube channel. I called it Linseed Oil because my name is very conducive to oil painting jokes, and I am actually an oil painter. This painting up here, which I'm sure you'll see at some point in one of these videos, is an oil painting that was actually done by my grandma in 1968. She was a pretty avid oil painter, and I think that's where I got my oil painting genes from. My whole family's kind of artistic. My Uncle Andy is an art teacher. I really like him. He's a fun guy. He actually likes bonsaiing, which reminds me of this project. Here's a little check-in for you. I'm just adding some more branches. And I wanted to start this channel because I have a lot to talk about, and I kind of wanted to do a podcast, but podcasts are boring. I don't like just listening to music, and it's like listening to music to me. So what I've decided to do is just paint as I do it and show you my painting along the way. At some point, I know that I will do some oil painting with you, and you'll get to see my oil painting process, and that'll be a really fun time. I've actually sold a few oil paintings. I have sold 10, in fact, just in my life. I'm actually going to pause for just a minute, and I'll be right back. Sorry there, I just had to go up and get some water for myself. I was a little bit parched, but all I did on this tree while I was gone, I just added a few more branches to it. As you can see, I want to have a lot of places for the buttons to go, because kids will love gluing these buttons on here. They're just going to glue it on with tacky glue, and that's going to be all that they do with these projects. I painted the trees in black so that they can paint whatever they want on top of them. Sorry, just putting that over there. On to the next canvas. So, what was I talking about? Oh, my uncle, the art teacher. It's really funny. My math teacher, Mr. Bush, he has a wife who is also an art teacher, and whenever he has to draw like a circle or anything on the board, he always says, well, my wife is an art teacher, as you may know. And it's pretty funny. For this tree, I think I'm going to go with a horizontal one, and I'll start on this side. We'll go maybe a third of the way in. Just draw a straight up line, and then draw that root system out from the middle. Feather it down, and get that tree a nice place to sit. So my uncle, as I said, is an art teacher, and he works in the area. He teaches in high school, and oftentimes when he gets home, he just wants to do something of his very own, and he works with bonsai trees. He loves bonsai trees, and if you don't know what that is, I strongly encourage you to look up some videos, but I'll tell you a quick synopsis right now. Bonsai trees are just tiny little trees, usually in a Japanese style, that are handcrafted to have branches in a specific direction, or I wouldn't call that style. I don't know what it is. Now that I'm talking about this, I think that I was actually talking about something else, but I'll finish my story real fast. My uncle, I really love my Uncle Andy. He's the greatest guy. He's really happy all the time, and I really strive to be like him. And that's kind of it. So what I think I was talking about before, I'm not going to go back and look, but I think I was talking about why I started this channel. So if I wasn't, I'll give you a quick synopsis anyways. My name is Lynn, and that is very conducive to oil painting jokes, because there is this particular substance called linseed oil. It's spelled with an I, but my name sounds the same, so I use it, as you can see in the username of this. I wanted to start a podcast, like I was saying before, that it wasn't just talking, because I don't really like that. I wanted to show progress in an oil painting, or in this case, just an acrylic painting. These ones are pretty fast-paced. I don't expect the oil paintings to go this fast, but I have a lot to talk about, and I can easily fill a half an hour with just my talking. of modeling after the Bob Ross style of painting and talking along with your painting. But really, I just want to talk some more about my life. I have a very full life. I'm very fortunate in that sense. Like I said before, I love my family. They love me back. And I have a lot to talk about in terms of things that I do in my life, because I do a lot of things. I'm very fortunate in that matter. So I just wanted to have this quick little talk. It's not quick. It's going to be about a half an hour. And maybe I'll upload every week. Maybe I'll just upload whenever I'm painting. But it's going to be pretty fun, no matter what. This one I'm going to call Almost Done. I'm just adding some smaller branches with this angled brush, as I told you I would have done before. There's a few weird sized branches in this one, but that's okay. Kids won't notice. They'll be fine. It's almost done. And then I can start on the next one. Something that I'm also doing for my community. I really love my community. We're a very tight-knit area. We just love each other here. And I'm starting this thing that I'm calling Sunday service, because I am not religious, really. My family thinks I am. Shh, don't tell. But I just really don't believe in all that. So I am going to do this thing called Sunday service, which is where I go out every single Sunday for an entire year and do community service. Real quick, let me just show you this tree. It's all done. This up here is my least favorite branch. It's kind of going to the side awkwardly, but it'll be fine. The kids won't notice, like I said before. Let me get my next canvas ready, and then I'll tell you more about Sunday service. So I came up with the idea because last Sunday, the first ever Sunday service, it was the first weekend in May, we went to this man's house who had had a stroke. He used to be very active in taking care of his yard, and now, because of this stroke, he couldn't be. So he was very sad about it, and he said, actually when we were there, that his yard had looked the worst it ever had before we came, and it was just really nice to help him. It was a lot of hard work. A lot of teenagers would not want to go and just give up their Sunday for a year doing community service, but I'm not really like that. I don't really do much on Sundays anyways, besides having 4-H meetings, and sometimes some other things. But I just wanted to give back to people because I really care about giving back. I really love people, I really love recycling, I really love a lot of things, as you will probably tell as this series progresses. So here is a tree that I've started painting. This one's a little bit curvier than the last one was, and now I'm just going to go back in with that same angled brush as you saw before, and do a lot of the little branches and things like that all over on the sides. Yeah. So this Sunday, I think that we are going to a cancer survivor's house. She recently lost her husband, just an old age. They're a pretty old couple, but she actually used to come and clean my house when I was a lot younger, when my family was a little bit more bougie. And that was a pretty fun time for me. It was always really great because I love the scent of lemon when she would wash all the wood in the house and cover it in the lemon-scented cleaner. Fond memories there. I don't really know how she's doing in terms of her memory and stuff like that, but maybe she'll remember me and we'll have a good laugh. I just really encourage everyone to get out into their community and help people who need it. Like, I could very easily just spend every Sunday doing yard work in my own yard. We have a very big yard. We are very blessed in that sense. And I could easily just do stuff here at my house. And my mom actually wants me to do some more stuff here at my house. But I want to help other people. Like, I know that I am very fortunate. And I know that I am able-bodied and ready to help other people. I don't want to just sit at home and be selfish and be on my phone and on YouTube all the time, because it's very easy for me to do that. I've been doing that for the past 14-ish years. I don't know. I'm 17 now. Probably not 14 years. YouTube wasn't even around back then, but it's a guesstimate. No one cares. It's all good. I think I'm going to actually call this tree done. It's got a few less branches than the other trees that I've done, but maybe someone doesn't want to do too much gluing. Maybe they don't like gluing as much, and they have some choices. I'm just going to go and set this down. And we'll actually get done to our next canvas. See, that only took me like 3 minutes or something. I have to add some more basic Liquitex paint, and we'll get started on this canvas. So, what I'm doing for my service Sundays is I'm doing community service, and right now in the summer, and just the beginning of summer, we're doing some yard work. I'd really like to help people spread some mulch, or just mow their lawns, get some sticks out of their yard, do all that kind of stuff. Rake up the leaves in the fall, shovel some sidewalks in the winter, and just have a good time. I'm involved in a lot of organizations that require hours of community service, which I think is a great requirement. Actually, I think at our school you can graduate by just doing community service, which I think is pretty cool, but not really realistic. Like, if you just done a lot of community service, do you really know anything that you need to know in terms of doing your taxes? Like, we have a personal finance class in my school, and I find it very helpful because there's a lot of skills that you need to know that involve your finances. And I feel like if you're doing just community service and graduating like that, you aren't getting all those skills that you really need to be a successful community member. Obviously, you're a community member already because you're doing all that community service. It's in the name. But I just want to reiterate the idea that community service does not equal intellectual ability. I've started the street. This one is also a horizontal painting, and this one is going to be right in the middle. As you can see, I did the same thing with the root system, and this one has 3 main branches with a Y in each of them. Now we're going to go in with that angled brush and add the branches. Something else that I want to talk about that's really exciting to me is I have dairy goats. Well, one dairy goat, just one girl, but recently she had babies. It was very exciting. Baby goats. And her name is Blackbird. That's not the name that I gave her, but I really like her name. So no shade to the person who gave her that name. And we always name our animals in families. Like, we had a cow that was named Dreamer, and so her first baby was named Midnight. Did you dream at midnight? And then her second one was named ZZ, and then Starry, and then Milky Way. Stuff like that. Fun things like that. And for this goat, since her name is Blackbird, I wanted to name all of her children, kids, whatever you want to call them, after birds. And I used to be really into ornithology, which is the study of birds, if you didn't know that already. And we just had a huge book of all the names of the birds there are in North America, which is where I live. And I just, as soon as I heard that she had babies, I was actually taking a government quiz at the time, but I finished up my government quiz, grabbed my big book of birds, and headed straight over to the farm because I was very excited to meet them. And she had 2 very cute babies. She's a French Alpine goat, and so if you know anything about the standard style of French Alpine goats, they're like an all-black goat. They have sandy-uppy ears like a deer, if you've ever seen one, and they have little white on their eyebrows, white on their muzzle, a little black nose, and they're really cute. This tree I'm going to call done. It's got a lot of little branches on it, and we're actually on to our last canvas. I'm running out of places to put these. Yeah. So Blackbird had some babies, and I named them Blue Jay and Pigeon. Blue Jay is the standard coloration of a French Alpine goat, and he has a lot of white on him, actually, for the standard. He's got a few little white spots underneath his arms and one right in the middle of his head, and he's really cute. And then Pigeon, he was the second one born. He is all black, and he's really cute, but he doesn't have control over his ears, and it's adorable. For this tree, we're going to start off with that standard curved shape that you might see on a cherry tree. Cherry blossom tree. So my little baby goats, they're about 2 days old now. They are adorable. I cannot believe them. I'm just so excited. Because this means that she's actually pregnant. For a while there, we didn't know if she was pregnant because some of the other goats kind of beat up on her. She's the only dairy goat, as I said before. And she looks different from our meat goats. And when I say meat goats, I don't really mean we just eat them. I don't eat any goat meat because I think that's kind of sad. But some people do. A lot of Filipino people in our area and Greek people, they love goat meat. So we sell some goats to them. It's not that sad when you think about it. We don't really get attached to the ones that we sell. But, you know, life is life. C'est la vie. I'm learning French. Yeah. Speaking of French, Alpine and French, I went to Canada recently. As I am a junior, I'm getting ready to look at colleges, and I have been set. My heart has been set on going to Canada for college. I have wanted to forever, just forever. And when I say forever, it was probably like 2 years. Ever since I got into high school and really started thinking about college. And we finally went to Canada over spring break, which was the beginning of April for me. Easter was actually on April Fool's Day, if you didn't remember, this year in 2018. That was pretty fun. But we were in Canada for April Fool's Day and Easter, and it was so much fun. It was really cold because it was April in Canada. But I saw 5 universities up there. I saw first Waterloo University. It is in Waterloo, Ontario. That one I really like the campus there. You can see I've posted pictures of all of these things on my Instagram. You can follow me. It's at lynn.2019. That's LYNN period 2019. And I have a lot of cool pictures on there. Not just the college visit pictures, but the next visit that we went on, it was all the way in Toronto, Ontario, which is kind of near Niagara Falls, but you probably know where Toronto is if you know where Niagara Falls is. And, that school, they had this thing in America, like, not America, I mean the U.S., the U.S. of A. We just call our universities and colleges the same thing. It could be like College of Worcester or University of Akron, whatever. And I'm actually done with this tree. I just wanted to show you. It's a side guy. I might add a few more little things to the bottom there so that it can be supported and not fall over in the wind. See what I did there? Just added a few more little brushy brush strokes. And that is the last tree that we have today. I'll just finish up my story and then I can be done here. But anyway, as I was saying, Canada. In Canada, as we call in the U.S., colleges and universities, they're like interchangeable things. But in Canada, they're all called universities because their colleges are actually little smaller groups within the big university. And University of Toronto was a huge example of this. It felt like Hogwarts the entire time we were there. They had huge old buildings, cathedrals, stained glass windows. It was really fun. And the colleges, there was 7 colleges within the University of Toronto, and each of these colleges had different names. Like there was Trinity College and University College, which was a confusing name for my mom, but not for me. And New College and a bunch of other ones. And I really liked that college feel. My favorite one at University of Toronto was Trinity College. Shout out to any of you that might live there. I just really like the idea of sitting down to eat with my college and having a good time. The next one that we visited was Concordia University. It's all the way up in Montreal. I'm trying to think of where it is for you. Oh, over here. all the way up in Montreal. And sorry, that was just like imagining Canada, and then like Montreal's over here, like you know how it goes. Canada, Quebec, Montreal, yeah. So that was a pretty far trek for us. It's about 9 hours away from where I live, but I really liked Concordia. Concordia was my favorite by far. It's right in the middle of downtown Montreal, and it really feels like a downtown college. It's got underground tunnels so that you don't have to walk in the snow, and all of the buildings are skyscrapers. Then the next one that we visited was actually also in Montreal. It was called McGill University. I really thought that I was going to like McGill. That's the one that started this whole college journey for me. Was my aunt once mentioned that her daughter was looking at McGill for art school. I don't want to go into art. I want to go into finance. But McGill really started off my college tour extravaganza in Canada. So thank you, McGill, even though I won't be attending there or applying at all. And then the last one that we visited was called Queen's University, and it was down in Kingston. I found that pretty ironic. And I really liked the campus there, once again, but I did not like the program. That's the thing that really stood out to me about Concordia, is that the program was exactly what I wanted from a college program. And so, Queen's University, it was more of just a general business kind of, instead of a specific finance. I don't know if I already mentioned, but I want to go into finance, and I just didn't want to go there. So, yeah, that's the colleges I'm looking at. I don't know how we got there. I don't know where we came from, and I don't know where we're going to go next, but I just know that I have done a lot of trees. I have actually made 12 total. That's 12. Ooh, sorry, I can't count. 12. Yeah. Total trees, and all with just a little bit of paint and 2 brushes. So again, these kids are going to have a really fun time, and I had a really fun time talking to you for this half hour. I have way more projects to do. I have some knitting to do sometimes. I have these 4 canvases to do. They're for another project. It's going to be a 4 canvas grid, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the middle of them is going to be a tree just like this one, and the buttons will be put on. But all of these canvases will be painted in an ombre style to mimic like spring, summer, fall, winter kind of thing. And it's going to be really cool. And so that's what's going to be coming up next on this channel. If you really liked this, you should probably drop a like. That is the logical thing to do. If you didn't like it, that's okay too. Just don't listen next time. And if you made it this far and you didn't like it, what are you still doing here? This has been a nice, hefty 28-minute video so far. And I'm really happy that all of you have stayed this long into the video. You can subscribe if you want to. Follow me on Instagram for sure. And I'll be uploading maybe next week, maybe whenever. It doesn't really matter. I have had a lot of fun with my life. This year has been the best year of my life. I might show you my year in pixels. If you look on my Instagram, you can see one of the before shots. On January 1st, I started this thing called Year in Pixels. It's also a Pinterest idea, just like these trees were. And it's basically you make a grid of the entire year. You start with January, February, March, April, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And as you go, you start in the January 1, and then you go to the January 2, then January 3, then January 4. And as you go on, it just gets... you color in all of the grid spaces, and you color them based on how your day was. And this year has by far been my best year yet. Last year wasn't the greatest. The year before that was even worse, but this one was pretty great, and I expect this to improve it even more. Thank you so much for watching this video or listening, whatever you like, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you, and goodbye. This has been Lynn. Thanks.